Okay, hi Addy, welcome to lesson number 45, and today we are going to start out with some division facts for you. So get ready to do 5 minutes of division facts, and then we're going to jump right into lesson number 45, which goes over dividing a decimal number by a whole number. So definitely useful information, something you're going to need to know how to do, and I think you can do it because you're a smarty pants. So can't wait to see what you do with it. Get ready to do division, 5 minutes, ready, set, go. Hi Addy, today we are going to do lesson number 45, and this lesson is really fun. It goes over dividing a decimal number by a whole number. So definitely something that you need to know in your future, so pay lots of attention to this because this is going to be a great lesson. The first thing that we're going to do is, well, I think you'll notice that I have a little bit of a fall theme going on today. So this is the first one, Linus in the Pumpkin Patch. Welcome, great pumpkin. All right, so the mental math, we're going to count up and down by 25s between 25 and 300. And while you do that, you have some beautiful fall leaves to look at, okay? So let's go ahead and get going. We'll do 25, 50, 75, 100, 125, 150, 175, 200, and then 225, 250, 275, and 300. Now let's count down, okay? We'll start with 300. 300, 275, 250, 225, 200, 175, 150, 125, 100, 75, 50, 25. Okay, we did it. Good job. Alrighty, for the rest of mental math, we're going to start with 4 times 425. Remember, there's a madman watching you. He's not going to let you use a calculator. So I would do 4 times 400 and then maybe 4 times 25 to figure that one out, but you do it the way that works for you, okay? B, 375 plus 500. Write down your answer. C, 77 plus 18. I might add 20 just to make it easy and take 2 away from that, but that's just me. What about D? Let's say you have $12 and you take away $1.25. What do you have left? E is going to be a little easier, I hope. 1/2 of 1,500 or 1,500. What is half of that? F is going to be $40 divided by 10. All right, G is a long one. You ready? We're going to start with a number that's 4 times 8. Then subtract 2. Divide by 3. Add 2. Divide by 3. Multiply by 5. Add 1 and divide by 3. Write down your answer. If you need to hear it again, just skip back, okay? I'm going to go ahead and jump into the new concept. And the new concept goes over dividing a decimal number by a whole number. And the way that they want you to figure this out is to just think it's kind of like dividing money. So you've done that before. So if you know how to divide money, you will know how to do this super easy. For example, let's say you had to divide $2.25 divided by 5. If you did that, you would get an answer of 0.45, which is the same as 45 cents. In other words, if you take 45 cents and you multiply that by 5, you get $2.25. So let's pretend the dollar signs are not even there, and you'll see that it looks exactly like this problem over here, which is a decimal problem. 2.25 divided by 5. And what do you get for an answer? You get 0.45. So it's the same thing. There's something for you to notice though, and that the decimal point in the answer is directly above the decimal point in the dividend. Remember, the dividend is this thing that you are dividing. It's called the dividend. Remember, and this is the divisor, and this is the quotient. So the decimal point in the quotient is right above the decimal point in the dividend. So it's going to be moved straight up. Okay, so let's do an example, and you will figure out how to do this problem right away, okay? So example 1 says, divide 4.2 divided by 3. So 4.2 divided by 3, how would we do this problem? First, let's do it like any other math problem. So 3 goes into 4 one time. And then 1 times 3 is 3. We're going to write that here. And then we're going to subtract, and you get 4 minus 3 is 1. This 2, we're going to bring it straight down, and we're going to put it right next to this 1. So we get 12. Now, how many times does 3 go into 12? Well, it goes into 12 4 times, because 3 times 4 is 12. So then we're going to do 4 times 3 is 12. Subtract that, we get 0, so it's remainder 0. But now we haven't dealt with the decimal yet. And if I line things up perfectly, so you have to be careful about lining things up, the decimal point goes straight up, so it's going to go right here between the 1 and the 4. So the answer is 1.4. Now, let's go ahead and do the next one. And you know that these keep getting trickier and trickier, so I need you to pay lots of attention as we do this one, okay? So, how many times is 0.24, what do you get when you divide 0.24 by 3? Now, I'm just going to pretend that the decimal point is not even there, and maybe that 0 is not even there. And I'm going to look at this next whole number. What about the 2? Does 3 go into 2? No, it doesn't. So I'm going to put a 0 just right here. And then I'm going to say, well, does 3 go into 24? And yes, it does. And I know that 3 times 8 is 24. So that's what we put there. Remember, because you go 8 times 3 is 24. And then I'm going to subtract. 24 minus 24 is 0. And 3 go, and so your remainder is 0. You don't need to put any other extra zeros above that. So where does the decimal point go? This is where it gets tricky, because it doesn't go here. It goes right above here. So the decimal point actually goes here. And I don't like to start with a decimal, so I'm going to put an extra 0 in front of that one. I'm going to fill that empty place with a 0. So my answer here is 0.08. When you do division with decimal numbers, you're never going to have a remainder. You're never going to write remainder something. You just keep going. Why? Because you can just keep adding zeros to that number. It doesn't change the value. And so that's why you never get any sort of remainder. So just to make that point, we're going to do the next problem, which is example number 3. And it's basically, if I ignore the decimal and the 0, it's 6 divided by 5. 5 does not go into 0. It goes into 0 0 times. Now, does 5 go into 6? Yes, it does. 5 will go into 6 one time. And then I do 1 times 5 is 5. I'm going to put that there. Whoops. It's okay. 5. Now I subtract 6, and I just ignore the decimal for now. 6 minus 5 is 1. Now, 5 doesn't go into 1, and I'm not going to put remainder 1, because that doesn't make sense with decimal problems. So what I'm going to do with a decimal problem is I'm going to add an extra 0 here. In fact, you can add as many zeros as you want, because as you know, it does not change the value of that number. So if I do add an extra 0, I'm never going to get a remainder, because I can bring this 0 down, okay? And then I have 5 goes into 10, right? 5 goes into 10 2 times. So, and then I do 2 times 5. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 minus 10 is 0. And then I can stop there, because if there were a remainder, it would be remainder 0, but there's not, because you don't do remainders with decimals. So now it looks like I'm done, but I don't have a decimal in my answer, so I need to figure out where it goes. It was right here. If I go straight up, it's going to go right here. So that's where I'm going to put the decimal. And this is my final answer, 0.12. Okay, so if you end up with a remainder, you can just add more zeros here to this number, because it doesn't change the value. And then you can bring down an extra 0. So instead of going, remainder 1, you can have a 10 there. And 5 does go into 10. So you can just keep doing that. So that's why you don't have remainders. Anyway, hopefully that makes sense to you. So love you, Addy. Good luck doing your homework. And I can't wait to see your homework results. All right. Love ya. Bye.